Hi everyone, my name is Tim Long, and for me, the importance of reading is everything. With reading comes a vocabulary to understand words, and to understand life a little bit more. My journey with education in life would have been very, very different to a lot of people. Up until the age of 32, I wasn't able to read or write or spell very well. And at the age of 32, I decided to do my junior cert and continue with my education. So I done a junior cert, if you take level 3, 4, 5 and then a 6. And then I continued on to third level education, where I also found out that I was dyslexic. And what I've understood in the last few years about reading was I'm also in recovery. I'm recovery from alcohol and drugs and gambling. And what I found was if I didn't have the vocabulary I have now to understand the spiritual path that I've started on in the last number of years, I would never be in the position I'm in now to be able to understand words, which is everything for somebody that's in recovery. For anybody to move forward on a spiritual path, you have to understand the meanings of different words. The book I've chosen is a book by Johann Hari. It's called Chasing the Scream. It's a book about the war on drugs, how it started back in 1920. There was a guy by the name of Harry Assinger. The prohibition on alcohol had just ended, and they started on heroin and cocaine, and they delegalized everything. Everything was taken away from prescriptions by doctors and stuff like that, and it actually went to a state that doctors would have went to prison if they gave out prescriptions for methadone to heroin addicts. I've chosen a page from the book Chasing the Scream, which is this. It's about, I'll just get into this here. So it says, Gabber had been a successful family doctor for years. He explained to me when he applied for a job on the downtown east side of Vancouver in 1998. To many people, this decision was puzzling. These 10 blocks had one of the highest death rates in the developed world. The scene in this neighbourhood is notorious to Vancouverites. Against every charred or boarded up building lean, glassy-eyed addicts. On a typical day, some are passed out, others are looking around them very fast, as if trying to spot a buzzing insect with a nasty sting. As I walked around, I tried to picture it as it must have been when Gabriel first came here. There is an insistent rhythmic chant on the streets as you walk past dealers. Rock, rock, powder, powder, rock, rock, powder, powder, as they chant. Women with hollow faces and painted red lips pace nervously, offering a date to passing cars. Oversized pigeons peck around them. The glamorous names of the hotels here are the Balmoral, for example, gets its title from the castle belonging to the Queen of England. Seems to mock the people who live in the tiny single-room occupancies into which the hotels have been carved. In the last gasp to suck up the tin dust of government housing assistance, overdose and hepatitis C seem to come with these rooms. The way many bars do in other hotels, the streets were cluttered with bottles of mouthwash and hand sanitizer that have been swigged by alcoholics who want the maximum possible intoxication for the lowest possible price. The police appeared periodically to pluck out a person or two to jail. Then they vanished. The sea breeze wafted through indifferently. This was 2 paragraphs from the book. It's speaking about Johann Hari's visit to downtown East Side, which is a part in Canada's capital, Vancouver. Gabor Mate is the guy who he worked in this this hotel. It's called, I can't think of the name, but it's a very, very safe place for addicts and streets and stuff like that, those who can't get housing and stuff. And Gabor, who is the author of In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, which is another fantastic book, worked there for 12 years, and he wrote a book about his experiences. So this book will most definitely guide anybody into the world of drugs, the world of prohibition and drugs, how it started and how it's starting to change at the moment. It's a very, very interesting book for anybody that has somebody within their family that's suffering from alcoholism or drug addiction or gambling addiction. It explains it a little bit differently to what we all believe it is, which is some people believe it's a choice, and this book shows a lot of different ways why it is. A lot of it's based on trauma and people having difficult childhoods and stuff like that, so they go on and they become addicted in different ways. It's definitely a book that you should read, I believe. As a lot of you probably noticed, as I was reading, I do read quite slowly because I'm dyslexic, and I have to read slowly. This page here would take me maybe 10 minutes to read, and any time I read a book. But yeah, this is a fantastic book. It's called Chasing the Scream by Johann Hari. It's definitely something that's everybody should read at some stage. Now I'm waffling on a little bit here, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And this is the book. Thank you.